So it's very windy this morning. It's an east wind, as you can see here in the trees. Here it's coming over Syria. Down there at the very end we have Jordan. Always different mornings, different weathers. I'm not sure if it will be good sound for you to listen to with the wind. Maybe I need to go inside. It will be easier for you to understand, less disagreeable. This sister who's walking there is from Argentina, and she just joined our team of volunteers. First time we have a sister here. She's an extraordinary teacher. I had my first little chat with her yesterday in the lodge, and she's has an incredible talent teaching children. You know, when teenagers are a little more challenging to teach, there's a lack of interest. I'd have to tell you more. We'll have her tell you the story at some point. That'll be the best way. Can you tell me if you can hear me well, or if I should go inside for the sake of better sound, easier sound? If I go over on the other side of Cardinal, maybe the building will break the intensity of the disturbance, the acoustic disturbance of the wind. Or maybe even with me standing here on this side of the microphone and this side of the wind, it's less uncomfortable, less uncomfortable. Stay outside. Thank you, Margaret. Sounds okay, Judy. God bless you. Okay. Okay. Sometimes when the wind is blowing, it creates quite a disturbance. So we're into the new year. We can still say Happy New Year. I think we can still say Happy Christmas, because we're still in the Christmas season. We finished the octave yesterday, but we have the 12 days of Christmas. I don't know if you remember that old song. It was actually a song written in times of persecution, and it was all metaphorical, and this way they were able to confess their faith even though it wasn't allowed. Just behind those hills up there in the background is Lebanon. All countries in lots of trouble, needing lots of prayers. So we continue on with the readings. There are not too many readings for the Nativity, so in a good week we have exhausted them. So we keep we continue on with these readings and the encounter of Jesus with his disciples. Oh, I know what we should do. Maybe we should go up to the lobby area and just see a little bit more of the Christmassy feeling. Yeah, it's calmer here because of the building is breaking that wind. It's actually a little bit northeast as far as I can make out. All the ends of the earth have seen the saving power of God. And as we contemplate the baby in the manger, you know, you say, well, gosh, We didn't see much saving power yet with all the violence in the world, all the hostilities, all the difficulties, all the illness. And we would like to have a saving that would bring us to paradise immediately without further suffering. But the saving power of God can also carry us in a different way. It can make us strong to bear all of that without being crushed in spirit. Those who can continue bearing the challenges of the times, the challenges of the troubles and conditions, personal. Here we have more sisters. They live over in a village near Mahar, just a few miles from here, and they're serving the Arab children in the local parish, teaching the faith. They are sisters of the Word incarnate, or also from Argentina, interestingly. All the ends of the earth have seen the saving power of God. All the ends of the earth, Argentina, and Ireland, and Singapore, and China, and Japan, and Alaska. And in all of these countries all over the world, there has been an extraordinary change of heart in many ways. The capacity for martyrdom, for forgiving enemies. The saving power of God has many different forms. Perseverance in struggles. After we're finished the festivities, we might have a certain discouragement, a certain down feeling. And we need to have that interior strength to continue. Prayer for all these benefactors from all around the world who made Magdala possible. And then there's a resistance to truth, a resistance to goodness. And we have two challenges here for speaking, well, for attitudes first of all, and then referencing them before others, giving testimony. In the first reading we have the word liar. And in the gospel reading we have the word he admitted and did not deny it, but admitted. To admit, to not deny, to be a liar, two very different kinds of attitudes, of approaches. To stand for the truth. Sometimes it exacts a very heavy price. people who have had a personal experience of Pope Benedict, and I have had that, I'm blessed to have had that very close up, many years in a row, short but sweet. And when I brought young people from Germany and Central Europe, other countries, also neighboring countries, Austria and Switzerland and Luxembourg, and actually one year we brought a group of Russians in 1992, a large group of Russian, well, no, not a large group, I think it was 8 Russian young people joined us. And after the audience with Pope John Paul II, the public audience, the general public audience, that was held in the hall, the 6th audience hall, maybe, I don't know how many people fit in there, 20,000 people or something, or 15,000. And then we would have a little meeting with Cardinal Ratzinger. And I don't know if anybody more mild and gentle and serenely happy and interested in each of the boys. Very humble and modest. And he would take an interest in each single one of them and ask how they got connected, where they were from. He would have joined that because when you're living in another country, that was in Rome and he was German, you meet people from your own country. It's always interesting when you're overseas for a long time. And it was a joy for him. It was in the moment after he finished his office work on the way to lunch. That's how he arranged it, so he wouldn't intrude on his time. And everybody who met him had that extraordinary moment of joy. And however, the media portrayed an image of him with some really massively powerful, ugly images. Called him a German shepherd in the sense of a dog that was very aggressive. And that was not Cardinal Ratzinger. And he stood for the truth. He talked about a dictatorship of relativism. And obviously that didn't ingratiate him with certain people and certain interests. And the attacks were very strong. I listened to a commentary yesterday by Bishop Barron from the US. He's probably one of the highest ranking social media Catholic presences in the world after Pope Francis. And he went through the doctrinal development. It's a YouTube, I think it's about half an hour or more, discussion about the legacy intellectually of Pope Benedict, and he explains how Pope Benedict didn't change his position. During Vatican II, he was considered to be very liberal because of his attitudes of renewal, theologically very well founded and historically very well founded. But there was a whole swing in a certain media impression and also forces within the church that wanted to change everything. And so about 10 to 15 years later, after the council, he was considered to be horribly conservative. And if you study his writings, and his thought, you will see that his positions hadn't changed, but the positions of the others had changed. And so he stood for a great spirit of fidelity with a great kindness. And then I also know just from some people who were closer to the scenes that some of those who were aggressively way out, and he was in charge of the teaching of the church, of watching for the true teaching of the gospel. Sometimes the media would portray them as being very unfairly treated, but there had been years of discussion and efforts to find reconciliation, years and years, and yet he was pounded upon as somebody intolerable, somebody who was intolerant, somebody who was unfair. And that's the price of standing for the truth sometimes. It's important, if we have deep, profound convictions, to be able to be kind, to be patient, not to call names. John the Baptist he's been referred to in the gospel today. He was able to take his position and say the truth about himself, not to take more for himself, not to say less than who he was about himself. That's challenging for us sometimes. To stand with the truth, to stand for the truth with great kindness and goodness, with great love and patience. And we get formed in that. And I think in that sense we're going to have, God willing, the day we'll get to heaven, we'll see the incredible glory that Joseph Ratzinger will have, Pope Benedict XVI, because of his great fidelity. I had a personal connection with him, and I know how badly treated he got in the media. So I indulge in that as an example of following Jesus and witnessing to the truth. Allow me to do that today. And I thank you for being here, following along, and wish you a very blessed new year. See you later, alligators.